houses, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. So I got a question: how do probates work in New York City? It's a little limiting. And what happens if there's no next of kin? Okay, so let me explain what a probate is and the basics of probates and how it's somewhat different in each county. Sorry. Now, a probate means that somebody's dead, right? Somebody dies, and then the probate is the process of moving the dead person's assets into the heir's control. So, a person can die with a will, which means that someone is appointed the executor, who basically runs the show, or if it's a female executrix, sometimes it could be more than one person, and that person is appointed to take the assets through the legal process. Now, New York, of course, like every state, like every other legal matter here, like foreclosures or evictions, takes significantly longer for probates than other places do. It's not unreasonable for it to take well over a year to get through the surrogate's court. The surrogate's court is the court that deals with probates, and they are incredibly slow. Now, if someone dies without a will, then you have to petition the court to be, someone has to get appointed the administrator, which is like the executor or executrix, and that person, assuming they have full authority, can then sell the house, which is really what we're talking about right here. We're talking about buying houses. Now, no next of kin is a weird question because usually whoever is appealing to get this done is the next of kin. So let's talk about what a probate lead looks like and how it differs in different counties. So what a lot of people in our business do, and I'm one of them, lately I've been buying some probate leads, is you buy leads from a few different service providers, or you have people actually go down to the county and look for these things, and you find people who started the probate process, either intestate, which means there's an administrator, means no will, or somebody with a will, and you want to take a peek, if you can, and see if the deceased had a house, right? Had a house that you may want to buy. Now, a couple of things that happen sometimes. The executor or executrix or administrator may, by the way, in other states it's called a personal representative. It's New York where we come up with stupid terms. They may live in the house, right? Now, if I find a probate situation where the executor has the same address as the deceased, I don't count that. I think that's a waste of time, personally. Now, is it possible that the deceased had other properties? Maybe, but usually that's going to be a spouse or a child who's living in the house. So you call them up and say, hey, heard your dad died or your husband died. You want to sell me your house? You're going to be coming up against some difficult situations. So, but if the personal representative or executor or administrator lives in another state, for example, and seizes a house, that's likely something that they're going to sell. So we buy these leads with dead people, and we look at the addresses, and so there are lead providers who will actually research if there was any real estate owned by the deceased, so that's valuable. There are lead providers who don't, and you're going to call. Well, actually, you can call or you can mail, and you can say, "Hey, sorry for your loss. I'm here to help you, right? In whatever you need." Right now, me personally, I take listings too, and I know a lot of clean out guys who I use, and I can provide different services for them, and you're basically coming as a resource. Now, let me tell you about my experience. I just looked at it. It was 2017. I bought a bunch of probate leads, spent a lot of money on them, and I mailed them. And what I got was a lot of pushback. Now, I didn't do it enough to really tell you how it works, but here's what I got. Some people were furious. How dare you? You're trying to take advantage of me. Most people were like, I'm so early in the process, I can't sell even if I wanted to. And that was the basic gist of what I got back in return. So what I figured was maybe go for older probate leads. So now I'm buying like older probate leads. Now, are there leads that I buy that are old and are already gone? Absolutely. Gone, maybe I could have caught them in the first, I don't know. But I believe in New York, right, really specific to New York, because of the length of time it takes, I think we should go for a little bit older on the probate leads. But again, you could miss out on some. So the idea is to not jump all over these people who are, when I hit people in 2017, a lot of people were still grieving. Like people would call me up and cry. The point is not to, hey, I want to sell your house. I heard, your parents are dead. but you want to communicate that I'm a resource for you, right? I can buy the house. I'm an investor. If the house really needs a lot of work, I can buy it. I'm a realtor. If the house is in good shape, I can get you, top dollar for it. And also, I have people who can come do clean out the property, get rid of stuff, whatever you need. I am a resource for you. So that's the path that you should take in dealing with probates. But you need to understand that you're still going to come in contact with people who are going to push back very hard, very hard. I'd say the hardest push. I get bad pushback from ringless voicemail, but the hardest pushback is probably from probates, right? Because someone's pissed off already, catch them on a bad day, you get a letter, and they interpret it as this guy's trying to capitalize on their grief or on their loss, and they're going to freak out. I understand it, right? And for me, I'm fine with it, right? I have a very thick skin at this point in my life. I've been told anything over the phone, right? I don't come back at them. I have a friend who just had some jerk realtor yell at him for sending a postcard to his client. And he called him back, and I'm like, and they started yelling at him, and I'm like, what's the point, right? What I've learned in my over 50 years of age on this earth is that you're never going to change somebody's mind about anything, really about anything. Certainly about politics or religion or anything like that. Forget it. So someone starts screaming at me, how dare you? I'm going to say sorry. I'm going to hang up the phone. I'm going to take them off the list. That's it. Right? You can't take it personally. I know it's easier said than done when you start. When you start, you take everything personally. People yell at you and you think the list is bad. People scream at you and you wonder what you're doing wrong. It's part of the business, right? You're talking to people and you're asking them if they want to sell, and a lot of these people are going to come back at you very hard and say no. So now with probates, if you are familiar with your county, one of the great things you could do is you can go there, sit at a computer, and write and copy down the probate information. Right? You can even sell those as leads if you want, or you can keep those as leads, and you can then market to those leads. It's free if you have the time. It's different in every single county, and some counties are incredibly difficult to deal with, but it's a process, and most of these county clerk or people that work the computers will tell you how to do it. But again, you're collecting a lot of information. You've got to understand, you're collecting leads. Many of these people do not own a house. The deceased did not own a house, in which case you're probably wasting your time. So it would be nice if you could just go into there and see who did, but it's not so simple. So you probably have to collect a lot of information to sift down to much less information, a lot fewer people who can possibly sell you a property. So what else I can tell you about probate? So there's no next of kin. I mean, someone's filing some attorney is filing the probate on behalf of someone, right? If you're asking, so Cheyenne, if you're asking, what if there's no next of kin, then it wouldn't be a probate, right? If a person dies and has no relatives, and this does happen, right? You'll find a house that's just fallen apart and nothing on it but tax liens because there's no first lien mortgage. And I have hired a genealogist to go find heirs, try and go back and call somebody up and say, hey, I got good news for you. Your third cousin had a house. If you are able to find, if you're able to sign, what the hell's the word I'm looking for? Heirship affidavit that proves that you're an heir. You can make some money here, and that could be a home run for an investor, right? You can make $100,000 on a deal like that because sometimes they'll go, great, whatever you pay me. I didn't even know there was a house. Some people unfortunately go, oh, there's a house now. Let me see. You're not getting one over on me, but that's the way it goes. So, if there's no next of kin, it's probably not a probate. All right. If it's probate, then there's somebody there who's trying to move the assets of the deceased through to them. Right. If there's no assets, then no one cares, and no one's filing anything. It costs money to file a probate. You got to pay an attorney thousands of dollars over time. Sometimes you'll pay them with the proceeds if you sell a property, but it's not like a simple thing that happens automatically. So I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com or learntoflipandwholesale.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on any media channel, please click the thumbs up. The likes really help the algorithm. A lot more people see my video, so thank you very much for all the thumbs up. And please keep the comments coming. I post 5 times a week. I don't always know what to say. In fact, I generally have no idea what I'm going to say until I read the comments. So please keep the questions coming. They give me food for thought for future videos, and they also let me answer your questions, which is the point of this whole channel, which is to help you and help you answer questions. So you can ask any question. It doesn't have to be about the video you're watching. If it's a simple answer, I'll just reply with an answer. If it's something I've covered recently, I'll send you a link to a video on it. And if it's something brand new, or I haven't covered in a while, I'll do a brand new video on it. Thank you very, very much for watching.